Oh my goodness. Looking at this now, this actually looks like this might take way longer to make as a video. Especially, let me see if I could show this real quick. This isn't even all of them either. It's about 5 sketchbooks right here. And I just finished up the one I was working on, which is why I even wanted to make this video to begin with, because, well, I just want to go through the years of progress that's been made. Sorry about that. Accidentally slurped. I'm going to try my best to describe memories of me drawing throughout these, but I'm not going to lie, a lot of these are, I was kind of just drawing just to draw, which is also fine. But, you know, a lot of these don't really have stories I can remember, because I was just doing it for fun mostly. First one I ever got was this small, like, portable, I guess you could say, sketchbook that I got at Michael's. Fortunately, or unfortunately, I mean, I didn't really end up finishing this one, and I really regret that, because now I pretty much finish all my sketchbooks, and it's cool to look back on them and flip through every single page and just see how far you've come with literally each and every drawing. This one's pretty random, and to be honest, like I said, I literally don't remember drawing most of these. I remember my sister actually recommended me to draw Ted for some reason as my first drawing. I don't know why. And I did Doodle Bob. By the way, these are all copies. Back then when I was first getting into drawing, I really didn't know how to do any drawings without pretty much just copying the entire thing. I still do that very rarely, occasionally, but only if, yeah, like a family member or somebody who I know is asking for something really specific and doesn't really want me to, like, innovate with my own style. So that's the only times I'll really do copies. Oh my goodness. This is technically, well, this, besides the fact that I don't have like old school like childhood drawings or anything like that, this is technically the first OC that I ever created. It's not really good, especially if you literally look at any of my practice days now compared to something like this. It's really not great. This, I think that was also supposed to be an original character. Not really that great. I remember being super happy about this one when I first did it. I mean, looking at it now, it isn't that terrible, I guess. Especially for only 3 years ago. I guess there definitely could have been worse. The leg's a little janky and the face could have looked way better. Oh my god. Even at the time that I drew this one, I was extremely disappointed. For some reason, I just still didn't see the fact that I literally added on two heads. It literally looks like his head is just growing at the top. It's awful. I remember also staying up late doing this one as well, and I was also pretty proud of this one as well. It was a fun one at the time. I remember also really feeling proud of these ones as well. Oof, that one looked rough. god, I butchered Airy. I am so sorry for that. This one was an interesting one at the time. I wanted to test to see if I could be able to draw an entire manga panel from anything. I just chose Demon Slayer because why not? I had the volumes on my shelf, so I just decided to try drawing this moment. And this is technically it does end right here. These don't really count. I actually don't even know the time frame of when I drew these because I was gonna go back later and then finish up the sketchbook, but I ended up just not doing that. So now there's just a bunch of empty random pages, and that was that for sketchbook. And then we have this one, which again, this is mostly a sketchbook comprised of copies I did back then. I remember this one taking so long, and I also finished this one very late at night, but I was extremely proud. I think I literally at the time used the entire ink in my pen just to do this single piece. And it was kind of worth it, I guess, but I was also out of inking stuff for a while, so it kind of sucked, but it was still cool. Oh my god, I still laugh at this now, especially when I reopen the sketchbook. I mean, this is just a bad drawing on its own, but besides the fact, at the time, I wasn't that far into Demon Slayer, but I still seen this character, and I wanted to draw him, but I didn't know what his name was for some reason. I guess other people didn't either, because when I searched up this name, he popped up for some reason as a lot of the results, and I assumed that was his name, but obviously 3 years later, it's not his name. His name is Kokushibo. Oof, I still get annoyed looking at. This was one of the first times me using some alcohol-based markers, I believe. They weren't mine. They were my sister's, who likes to color a lot. This was almost a good attempt, and then I ended up clearly butchering it at some point. Well, even besides the fact, you could clearly see that there's an unsymmetrical eyeball. One pupil is clearly larger than the other. Don't ask me why I chose to draw that face out of any other expression from Tanjiro. Oh my god, that looks horrible. Oh, this is technically another... I was planning, and I might still do this, to redraw this character, because it was also supposed to be another original character that I never came up with a name for or anything, no backstories or anything like that. I was just drawing at the top of my head at the time. So this was what I could do freehanding back then, and it wasn't very pretty, as you can tell. Oof, that was another one as well. Same with that, that was all supposed to be original. So this is when I started actually trying to learn fundamental stuff in art, and even just learn anatomy and shape stuff. It took a very, very long time. I can't even remember when it even started clicking. Oh my god, that is another unfortunate OC character. That one was as well, but to be honest, I was actually pretty proud of this one at the time. I guess it still isn't that terrible, but you know, I could very much do something very different now. More anatomy stuff, fundamentals, and just a lot of shape practicing. Skip that page. The reason why I'm skipping this page, by the way, is because It's literally, I was originally going to use this sketchbook for an art class that I was doing online at the time during COVID, and that just never really stuck through. So I just used it as a regular sketchbook again. Oh my god, this was supposed to be me. I was trying to draw myself, and oof, oof, oh my god. Jeez. This one was still cool, actually. I actually think I still like this one, to be honest. I was trying to draw the Mad Hatter, my own style at the time. Don't mind a random Mulan villain. Another shot at an original character. Oh my god, I almost forgot that I did this. My sister told me to draw the Demon Slayer villain as a hippie, and that's what came of that. And then I believe that's the last page, yeah. That's that sketchbook. Second one down. Alright, this sketchbook right here is probably what I would believe to be my most, or one of my most important sketchbooks, because I kind of feel like it's when I started practicing the hardest and actually going full force with learning art and just a lot of important fundamental stuff. This is also one, even like my copying game stepped up a lot too, as you could see from this first page in here. This one took a long time, but I was extremely proud of that one, and honestly, even looking at it now, it's still pretty good, especially for the time that I did it in. Yeah, but maybe besides the fact that I gave him a super tiny ear for some reason. This was supposed to be an original character. Again, I was originally for this gonna do a AOT collage of just like a bunch of characters from the show. I drew 2 characters and then I immediately just gave up for some reason. I guess the idea just quickly just became not appealing to me, I guess. Oh, oof. See, you could clearly tell that this is a learning stage. I mean, I try to cover up my shame right here with these scribbles, but if you look hard enough, you could probably definitely see that. Ooh. Oh, this one was a cool one. These were, I guess besides this down here, these were all my family's drawing. My cousin drew this, these, I believe, all of these, and my sister drew this actually. Don't mind that page. Don't mind that one either. Oof, I forgot. Oh, I forgot about this page as well. So there was a day where my cousins came down to visit, and my cousins are, I think I probably mentioned this before in an older video, but my cousins were kind of the reason why I even thought drawing was so cool as a kid. And those same cousins came down a few years ago to visit, and we just randomly decided to try drawing, but we were trying to draw intentionally bad pictures, and this was the page that came out of it. So there's gonna be something a little confusing. I did sketchbooks in such a weird, unorthodox way that after I finished it, I went back to refill the pages just so I made sure I wasn't wasting any pages at all. So I was trying to do them front and back. So this is technically my skill level at the end of the sketchbook, not right after this. Probably gonna have to mention that for a lot of these. I think this as well was like a product of me going back. Some copies. Hmm. This is not actually my PE teacher. My brother just wrote that down because he thought it looked like our PE teacher. But it's forgot what the dude's name is. I think his name is Hide the Pain Herald or something like that. The meme dude though, the one that Internet Historian has as his profile picture. That was my sister's. I think, yeah, that. That was also my sister's. This is so in this sketchbook at the time, towards the end of it, this is when I felt like I was quote unquote leveling up. At the time, for myself, this seemed like a impressive anatomy. I mean, looking back at it now, you could glance at it for a second and literally see a lot of the issues. And that's that sketchbook. There's also some random drawings that I let my little young cousin do, and he had some extremely random pages in here. Yeah, and that's that sketchbook. This is another one of my favorite sketchbooks, actually. I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, I don't think this is it. I think it's the next one. This one's also kind of strange because while I was doing this one, I randomly decided to start this one for some reason, which I kind of regret a little bit, but I could kind of pinpoint a time frame in the sketchbook at least where I actually came back to it and then finished it properly and not so out of left field. So technically, some of the same skill level in that red sketchbook that I have is like in this one as well. And it looks a little strange to see a huge jump, as you could see right there. This is still, I mean, this still has a lot of issues, at least when I see it now. But at the time, it was definitely something, but I wasn't obviously drawing at that level yet. I'm probably gonna have to lift this up a little more. Let me see. Let me just readjust this real quick. Let me move that ring light out of the way. Trying to fit this entire end frame. Setup's a little janky to work with. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Trying to see if I could get these in frame. I remember being extremely proud of that one. I don't like this character, by the way. I just like his design. I need to say that right now. I'm just a fan of the art in Berserk in general, not a fan of this character. I also, if I remember correctly, I had a lot of art blocks in the sketchbook. If I remember correctly. At the time, it kind of felt like I really wasn't hitting any huge landmarks in my art, which you should probably never pressure yourself into, you know, constantly achieving, because it's just unrealistic. I mean, art itself is pretty much something you have to do for an extremely long period of time to see any amount of progress bloom from it. And in my opinion, at least, it's worth it investing that amount of time. I have no idea how these sketchbooks get stained like this. It's pretty nasty looking at it now. Oh my god, don't mind this picture right here. Some copies. This one was an extremely fun one to do. I actually did this one with my sister at the time. I think it's the only colored piece in this sketchbook, actually. I was originally meant to give this a friend, but unfortunately I wasn't able to, and haven't been able to since. I think, oh my goodness, how has this happened? I think around this page right here actually is probably when I had my next level up in art, especially for that time period. I felt like I had a huge, or not huge, but just a way better understanding of anatomy at the time. Oh, this one. So, I believe, yeah, this page right here, I was doing a challenge that me and my sister created. Or I guess it was more so that she created, where she was doing a spin the wheel for me. And she had a bunch of random subjects or just things or people that she put on there. And I was supposed to draw them whichever one I got. This, oh god, this was supposed to be John Lennon. I straight up made him look not like John Lennon. And then this was a zombie. This was supposed to be a mermaid. I never finished it because I was lazy. A goblin. And then like I think it was supposed to be an old horror, like, movie poster or something like that. It was fun at the time. This was another one that she gave me, and I actually really liked this one at the time. And it was supposed to be a fairy drawing. Supposed to be a vampire. Supposed to be a meme, I believe, as a challenge. I think this one was just one that I randomly did on my own, I believe. So I drew a guitarist. Oh, this one was really cool too. I actually ended up finishing the mermaid later. That one was awful. I didn't even finish it because it was so bad. I drew a cowboy. This was a Halloween thing. I forgot what I think it was draw like trick-or-treaters. It was another challenge my sister gave me. Mad scientist. Looks pretty horrible in my opinion. Gladiator. I thought this one was actually pretty cool. It actually still doesn't look that bad even now. Clown. Looks whatever. This one is pretty bad. Oof, that one looks pretty bad too. It was supposed to be a witch. Sweeney Todd, I believe. Oh yeah, because we're doing, she gave me Johnny Depp characters to draw. Willy Wonka, that one's pretty bad. I can't remember his name. Another Johnny Depp character though. Edward Scissorhands that I never finished inking. That was a really cool one at the time. I forgot his name as well. This one's supposed to be like an action pose. This one was supposed to be someone cooking. Oh god. I do not remember drawing. I think these were Disney characters. Excuse me. That's the end of that sketchbook. Ooh. And now we have the second to last. This one is one of my favorites. I feel like I've been saying that for all of these, it feels like. Basically said it for half my sketchbooks. I haven't been drawing for a long time. If you couldn't tell, there's probably way more people who have larger stacks of sketchbooks than me. I remember being proud of this one. This was a very random page. That was supposed to be a copy of Bruce Lee, as you could tell from his very striking features. My sister, who is a fan of Bruce Lee, said I made him look like a creep. I think this is when I was doing challenges again, but I was doing them with my friend actually. Yeah, so there was a day where I can't remember. We're doing a spin the wheel also for that day. I was doing it with my friend though through Discord, and I drew Harry Potter, Moxie from Hell of a Boss, and the devil from Cuphead, and a door for some reason. I don't know. He had the bright idea of having us draw a door. These were also spin the wheel ones I did with my friend. I drew Joker from Persona 5, Pochita from Chainsaw Man, and Saitama. Oh my god. I was very proud of all of these at the time. This one was one of the first times I ever tried implementing a background. For a first attempt, I guess those are right. Backgrounds are something that I still struggle to do, to be honest. I need to learn that skill already. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that a lot of these, except for some, not a lot of the ones that are inked though. This one was original though. These were, a lot of these were actually me trying to take shots at trying to make my own original stuff. Trying to apply the knowledge that I've been picking up with studies and practicing and applying it. I was very proud of this one too at the time. I still like that one actually, to be honest. Obviously, looking at it now, there's things I definitely could have done better, but, you know, when is it never not like that with art? I was extremely proud of both of these at the time. I was supposed to finish this one, and then I never got around to it because, again, backgrounds were just something I really, really did not like drawing, because they're really tedious, and they're still tedious. That. I remember thinking those ones were super cool as well. Oh, this was me trying a more, what's the word, I guess, softer shading style. With, these, they're all scattered around the place right now, but they're like the blending sticks for lead pencil. Another drawing, I'm at the censor, Jesus. Should have chose a way better time to do new drawings. This one was one of my favorites in the sketchbook, to be honest. I was gonna originally do an inking for it at the time, but I guess I just also never got around to that one. And that's that sketchbook. This was the last page. And now we've come to a sketchbook that I've actually done a few videos in. This is the one I just finished up. I'm very proud of this one, actually. Let's see. I just feel like this is going to be a very hard one to show. This paper is detached. This was the next page, though. Ooh. Let's put that back there. Just a lot more practicing. That was my attempt at a portrait in anime style. This one actually looks pretty bad now, and I literally did one in this same sketchbook, I believe. At the way kind of more end of this that looks way better in my opinion. I was really proud of this one. Hold on. yeah, this is what I was trying to do. Try practicing some comic paneling and stuff like that. I ended up doing an inking of this one actually. To be honest, when I look at it now, I think my traditional drawing was way better. Don't ask why I drew this. This one was originally supposed to be for my sister, but I have an extremely bad problem with being lazy, and I never ended up finishing it, so now I still plan to end up doing this again, but it's probably going to be of a better quality now. So me trying some more of the soft shading. Ooh. Ooh. Man, this is an extremely inconvenient sketchbook, to be honest. Oh, there it is. There's the one I mentioned. So this was me having a go at a portrait again. I don't know how many more months later, but I implemented the soft shading in this, and I actually really like this one. I still like this one, actually. It's just a lot more practicing. Probably not gonna get to see a lot of these backsides, unfortunately, because I really don't want to awkwardly flip the sketchbook over every time just to show a picture. And most of them are just generic practices anyway, so not really missing out on too much. I actually ended up doing an inking of this one because I liked how much it came out on my sketchbook. I was really proud of the shading in this one as well. I had fun doing that one. I ended up doing an inking of this one actually digitally as well, and it's probably one of my favorite digital art pieces that I did. So at this point in this sketchbook, I was trying to already start practicing posing way more as opposed to anatomy. Because you could probably see now, especially, I've started to get a very clear, way better understanding of anatomy and how it works at certain perspectives and angles. Not all of them still. I still definitely struggle. But I definitely have a way better understanding. And I could draw a lot of poses with pretty proportionate anatomy and 1 point perspective now. Pretty consistently. I also did a digital inking of this one. Some One Piece fan art. I was really proud of this one too, and I actually really like how the digital art as well came out. That was a fun one. Oof, it's getting heavy. Ooh, 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 I'm crunching all my pages. Trying to film this. Huh, I didn't realize how many back-to-back digital inkings I had. I did a digital inking of this one as well. To be honest, I was kind of disappointed with the digital inking of this, especially since I spent 8 hours on it just to still feel dissatisfied. Some more soft shading. This right here, you could just clear. I made the head way too big, I'm pretty sure. But you could still very, very clearly see. And this is freehand, mind you, like non-referential stuff. This is how much my anatomy has leveled up in this sketchbook. Which is crazy too, because I don't even draw dudes nearly as much as I draw female characters. Oh, there's the first, I believe, that I was mentioning. Yeah, this was in a video. Pretty okay study session. Ooh, struggling to flip back. Damn, honestly, probably never gonna get these bundles of vertical sketchbooks again. I thought it would save me some convenience because it kind of gets the spring off of my hand because I'm left-handed. But flipping through a vertical sketchbook is way more awkward than flipping through a horizontal one, that's for sure. Plus, I was already getting very used to and accustomed to the spring on my hand anyway, so it really wasn't that much of an issue, and a change that didn't really need to happen. Oh my god, don't mind these. Don't mind these. Those were some very sus prompts that my cousin gave me. Some Jack and Sally fan art. I actually did this one in public with my sister at Barnes and Nobles. At a cafe. That one was fun as well. Alright, we're getting to our last few pages now. Honestly, unfortunately, it's nothing too spectacular. The last few ones are literally just more practices. You could still see how much my anatomy has leveled up by a lot. But, yeah. This is the last page that I literally just finished up right now. And I actually filmed this as well, so it's probably gonna be another video too. Some more real-time stuff. And that was my sketchbook tour. Thank you for anybody who has sat through this to look at my old terrible drawings. And that's all I really have for today. Oh my god, this is gonna be a lot to cut down.